Provincial and territorial leaders meet in Saskatoon today after pancake flipping their way through the Calgary Stampede. For more on this and other political news, I'm joined by the Globe and Mail's Laura Stone. Laura, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Kelsey.
So, Alberta Premier Jason Kenney hosted the premiers of Ontario, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, and the Northwest Territories. This was ahead of today's council, and they were in Calgary. So, what were the discussions beyond pancakes? What were they about?
Well, this was obviously meant to send a message to the federal Liberals and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just a few months before the next federal election. These were all conservative or conservative-leaning premiers, with the exception of the Northwest Territories here. So they met to discuss energy policy. Of course, they're in the heart of Canada's oil patch in Alberta, talking about pipelines, talking about legislations about energy, and basically sending a message. Both Alberta Premier Jason Kenney and Ontario Premier Doug Ford used the term like-minded premiers. I think the message to Justin Trudeau yesterday was, not everyone thinks like you. There's a conservative sweep happening, as Doug Ford mentioned, across the provinces and territories. And they just wanted to show the Liberals heading into this next election that not everyone thinks the same way as them.
So now they're heading to Saskatoon. They've got premiers meetings over the next couple of days. How does this play into those discussions, if at all?
Well, it certainly will play into it. I mean, these meetings happen yearly, and they're often about griping about Ottawa, increasing health transfers, for instance, money for social services, immigration, internal trade is going to be a big topic of discussion. But I think certainly the carbon tax is going to be a major topic of discussion because, you have someone like BC Premier John Horgan, who supports the carbon tax. And then you have someone like Jason Kenney, who is staunchly opposed to it, and you have the pipeline battle going on there. Quebec, for instance, yesterday said that they are going to intervene in the carbon tax challenge. They want to play a role. They don't think the federal government should impede on provincial jurisdiction. So the carbon tax, which is going to be a major federal election issue, is going to be a key topic at that meeting.
Taking us back to Calgary, the People's Party of Canada leader Maxime Bernier was also in Calgary on Sunday to announce his local candidates before visiting the Stampede himself. So will he be able to win over any Conservative voters there?
Well, he calls himself the Albertan from Quebec. So Maxime Bernier is very popular in Quebec. He did quite well there during the leadership, and he's hoping to make some gains. I think he certainly will, win votes out there. But the question is it enough to take away seats from Andrew Scheer's Conservatives? I mean, when the Conservatives are winning by a margin of 60%, is Maxime Bernier going to be able to split the vote over there? That's going to be much more difficult to have an impact on actually taking away seats from Andrew Scheer, but it will be interesting to see, especially if there's a Liberal collapse in the province.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the Liberals, because we are talking as well about Justin Trudeau making his way to the Stampede as we head into this final weekend. Will he be able to hold on to the seats in that province heading into the federal election?
It's going to be very difficult for the federal Liberals to hang on to those seats. Andrew Scheer, when he was visiting Calgary this week, went to the two ridings that the Conservatives don't currently hold. One is a Liberal, one is a former Liberal, an independent now. The Liberals won those ridings by very slim margins, and it's been a difficult go for Trudeau in the West because of pipeline concerns, because of the carbon tax. So I think it is going to be a very big challenge for the Liberals to hang on to those seats.
Stampede isn't all about pancakes and midway rides. It's also a lot about politics.
Absolutely.
Okay, Laura, thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.